live from the court with Tim Parrish. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack Sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now for the countdown to tip-off with Tim Parrish, and go Lumberjacks!
And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here in Kendrick, Idaho, as St. Mary's gets set to take on the Kendrick Tigers in a non-league clash here down south. We've had a pretty exciting afternoon of basketball here in Kendrick. The C team got things started off this afternoon, trailed basically the whole game, and was actually down by double digits early on, but came back to win that one 32-31 over the Kendrick C team on a buzzer beater layup by Dom. I don't know his last name. I was going to grab a roster and I didn't, but he had a nice layup to get the win for the Lumberjack C team. JV game is underway. They are in the fourth quarter. Score is 32-22 in favor of Kendrick. St. Mary's JV now trying to make a comeback. And I was just talking about Dominic. He just made another layup for the JV squad that gives the Lumberjacks a 32-24 deficit to the Tigers JV. So they're battling hard trying to come back in the fourth quarter. Then we've got a battle of the number one teams in 2A and 3A coming up here in just a bit. It is the 2A Kendrick Tigers that sit atop the Max Preps rankings at number one for 2A, and it is the number one 3A team in Max Preps, St. Mary's Lumberjacks, doing battle here this evening. It is also the defending state champion Kendrick Tigers that is hosting the Lumberjacks here this evening. So should be a pretty good battle. These two teams faced off back in St. Mary's earlier in the season. It went into overtime. St. Mary's getting the win there. And the Lumberjacks looking to bounce back from a tough loss to the Orfino Maniacs last Saturday, and looking to do it against a tough team here in Kendrick. So it is definitely doable, but it's going to be a fun, hard-fought game this evening. We're going to take a break. We'll come back after a word from our sponsors with the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24 plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Tim Parrish here at Kendrick High School, home of the Tigers, as the JV team has gone on quite a run here to get it into the fourth quarter. They trail just 34-27 to the Kendrick Tigers JV, and they've got 2:12 to go in the fourth period of play. Taking a look at this is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off, and taking a look at the Central Idaho League standings. Got Orofino back on top of the CIL standings with a 4-1 league record. 12-2 is the Maniacs in league play. They beat Asotin, Washington 56-49 on the 29th. They will be at Grangeville on the 6th. They are currently 7th in the Idaho Sports Power rankings and 2nd in the Max Preps rankings. St. Mary's is right below them with a 3-1 league record, 10-2 overall. Their last game for St. Mary's was at Orofino. St. Mary's lost that game 53-47. It's very rare to see the Lumberjacks have basically a whole week off between games, but that's the way it worked out this week. St. Mary's, this is their first game and only game this week, and it's almost a mirror image next week. St. Mary's won't play again until Friday of next week, and then they play Friday, Saturday. Next week, St. Mary's hosts Priest River and Moscow. St. Mary's 6th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 1st in the Max Preps rankings. The Kellogg Wildcats are 3-2 in league play, 8-7 overall. They beat Priest River 81-62 on the 29th. They will be at Grangeville on the 31st. And I forgot to write down their rankings. Priest River 1-4 in league, 3-8 overall. They lost 81-62 at Kellogg. They are at Newport tonight. And Grangeville 1-4 in league, 3-12 overall. They beat Nez Perce 66-58 on the 29th. They host Kellogg on the 31st. And you hear the crowd erupting. That is because the Lumberjack JV just hit a big three-pointer with a minute and a half to go. St. Mary's JV trails 34-30 to the Kendrick JV. That's a look at the Central Idaho League standings. We'll take a break, come back with a look at the power rankings, coaches poll, and Max Preps rankings with more on the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off when we return.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreation facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
And we are back, and there's going to be, this is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off, and Lumberjack boys at the Kendrick Tigers. JV game is coming down to the wire. It's a battle down here, 34-31. JV boys trail. They just had a foul on the floor. I seen Coach A.J. Bechtel asking to get a few seconds put back on that clock because they let about 2 seconds run off before they stopped it. And Lumberjacks just got a steal. That's 3-point shot on the way, won't go. And then there's going to get a foul on the other end. The JV boys battle. That'll be the 5th foul, I think, against St. Mary's. So it should put the Tigers to the free throw line. No. Anyway, let's get back to our pregame. Take a look at the power rankings. First for the Idaho Sports Power Rankings top 5. And Wendell sits at top of the power rankings with West Jefferson at number 2, New Plymouth at number 3, Soda Springs at 4, and Ambrose at 5. St. Mary's just out of the top 5 in number 6. And in the coaches poll, you've got Wendell and West Jefferson at 1 and 2. Tied for 3, it's Orofino and St. Mary's, and then New Plymouth in that number 5 slot. In the Max Preps rankings, it's St. Mary's number 1, Orofino number 2, Wendell number 3, West Jefferson 4, and Ryrie 5. And if the state tournament was to start today and St. Mary's and Orofino were both in the state tournament, that would put them on opposite sides of the bracket, which is actually a really good spot to be. Anyways, that's a look at the power rankings and coaches poll. We'll take another break, come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off after this.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. And friends, when families in our community face the loss of a loved one, they turn to the caring professionals at Hodge Funeral Home. With compassion, dignity, and personal service, Hodge Funeral Home is here to help guide you through life's most difficult moments. We want to thank Hodge Funeral Home for being a sponsor of tonight's broadcast. And JV game, there was no quitting that JV boys team. They held Kendrick down pretty good in that fourth quarter and went on an 11-0 run, but they couldn't quite complete the comeback. They did fall 36-31 to the Tigers JV squad. So now we are getting set for varsity action as both varsity squads on the floor warming up. St. Mary's warming up on the right side of the floor, and the Tigers on the left side of the floor. Taking a look around the area in high school sports action. Girls basketball last night, they played their last league game of the season. They lost to Priest River by a score of 31-45. Lumberjack girls 0-8 in league play, 0-14 overall. One game left on the schedule. The girls will host Kootenai next week on the 5th at 6 p.m. in St. Mary's. That'll be senior night. And after finding out there's no playoff game, district playoff game for the number 5 seed in our district tournament, or in our district. So that will be the end of the season for the Lumberjack girls. Will be their senior night next week. So be sure to come out and cheer on the seniors and the Lumberjack girls in their final game of the season. Want to wish the wrestlers luck as they are at the North Idaho Rumble tonight and tomorrow. And the cheer squad for St. Mary's, they are at the Prairie Classic on Saturday. So we want to wish them all good luck in that. Lakeside Knights, the Lakeside boys, 5-0 in league play, 13-2 overall. They lost to Timberlake 67-62 on the 27th. They will be at Clark Fork on the 31st, or host Clark Fork on the 31st. The Lakeside girls are 3-0 in league play, 9-11 overall. They lost to Lapway 69-37 last night. They also host Clark Fork tomorrow night. The Kootenai Warriors, they are 1-1 for their boys program in league play, 2-10 overall. They lost 84-39 to Clark Fork on the 29th. They will be hosting Mullen on the 3rd. The Kootenai girls, 1-0 in league play, 5-7 overall. They lost to Clark Fork 35-30 on the 29th. They will also be hosting Mullen on the 23rd. That's a look at the around the area in high school sports. We'll take another break, come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to tip off as the Lumberjacks get set to host or set to take on the Kendrick Tigers here in Kendrick. There's 12 minutes on the warm-up clock. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil, 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil. And if you love crafting, sewing, or DIY projects, stop by Frayed Fabrics and Crafts right here in St. Mary's. You'll find fabrics, crafts, supplies, and plenty of inspiration at 832 Main Avenue. That's Frayed Fabrics and Crafts, where your next project begins. Frayed Fabrics and Crafts, proud to support tonight's broadcast of Lumberjack basketball. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to tip-off, and now with Lumberjacks taking on the Kendrick Tigers here in Kendrick. Take a quick look at St. Mary's statistics. Lumberjacks averaging 65 points per game, giving up just 49 points per game to their opponents. 43% field goal shooting for the Lumberjacks, 31% from three-point range, 63% from the charity stripe, 35 rebounds, 12 assists per game for St. Mary's. Their opponents shoot about 37% from the field, 29% from three-point range, 65% from the free throw line, averaging 25 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Quick update on Coach Chase's record in his 12 years, 209 wins to 69 losses on the 12 years for Coach Chase. Taking a look at leading scorer, J.J. Yearout, senior, averaging 21 a game, 44% shooting from the field for him, 36% from three-point range, 67% at the charity stripe, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals per game. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with. JJ is at 923 career points as of the last game. Unless he completely goes off against Kendrick and Priest River in the next game, it's most likely that he will hit that 1,000-point mark on the road at Timberlake. I've been joking with him, telling him, got to let Coach Chase keep you in as much as he can in Priest River, because we would really like, I think everybody would prefer for him to hit that achievement at home and not on the road. So that is just a look at J.J. Yearout's stats. Our second leading scorer, tied between Isaiah Gustav and Xavier Sloper, both averaging 10 points per game. Jack Barta averaging 7. Landon Ribrick averaging 8 points per game. Marcus Speakman with 3. Jackson Harold averaging 4. Let's see here. What else do we have? We're going to take a look at the last time these two teams faced off. The Kendrick Tigers came into St. Mary's, and that was a wild ball game that went into overtime. St. Mary's won at 58-52. There were 4 ties, 1 lead change in that contest. So that tells me that Kendrick only led once, but they kept it close way all the way through that matchup. St. Mary's shot 52% from two-point range, 31% from three-point range, 44% from the field, 71% from the free throw line. All numbers you want to see if you're head coach Brian Chase. You'd like to see the Lumberjacks mirror that success tonight. St. Mary's pulled down 34 rebounds to the Tigers' 21. 14 fouls by St. Mary's, 15 fouls by the Tigers in that game. St. Mary's had 13 turnovers. Kendrick had 11. Both teams scored 7 points off of each other's turnovers. St. Mary's had 6 points off the bench, and the Tigers had 2 points off the bench. That night, Jack Barta had 14 points, 5 rebounds. He also shot 92% from the free throw line. If I remember right, he was our Taco About It player of the game. For the Tigers, they shot 38% from two-point range, 33% from three-point range, 35% from the field, just 50% from the free throw line. Kind of tells you how that game could have possibly been different at the end if Kendrick shot a little bit better at the charity stripe. The Tigers only had 21 rebounds, and that is about the stats that I have for that. Aside from scoring for Kendrick, they had 5 guys that scored. Rowley Rotzelander had 17 points. Nathan Twite had 15, and Hudson Kirkland scored 13. Maddox Kirkland had 3, and Colt Kett had 2. For of the Kendrick Tigers, as we mentioned, they are the defending 2A state champions, currently 8-0 in league play, 13-2 overall on the season. They are on a 7-game win streak. They beat Troy in their last game by a score of 113-24. That was on the 27th. Their last loss was all the way back in December on the 31st, where they lost to Lewiston 70-60 at the Avista Holiday Tournament. Like I mentioned earlier as well, this is the battle of 2 number 1 teams in Max Prep. So the Tigers are ranked 13th in the state of Idaho in Max Preps. St. Mary's is ranked 16th in the state of Idaho. And in Max Preps rankings for Kendrick in 2A, they are the number 1 team. And St. Mary's in 3A is the number 1 team in Max Preps. And it is actually 1, 2, and 3 is owned by teams up north in that 2A classification. with its Kendrick, Lakeside, and Lapway. And you can basically say that the 3A side has got 1 and 2 from the north as well, with St. Mary's and Orofino. Points per game, the Tigers are about right there with St. Mary's. They are scoring about 68 points per game and giving up just 42 points per game to their opponents. Well, like I said, this is going to be a heck of a battle here for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks looking to bounce back from that loss against Orofino, in one where the coaches would say St. Mary's did not play the greatest defense all the way through, and Orofino made the threes when they needed to take that game away from the Lumberjacks. That is an important game because now St. Mary's basically needs to win out in league play if they want to host the district tournament. Lumberjacks won't face Orofino again until the very last game of the regular season. And I think I mentioned upcoming schedule: Priest River and Moscow at home next week. Then St. Mary's goes on the road to Timberlake and Kellogg. And then Timberlake, Kellogg, and then I think Grangeville, a three-game road trip before they do come back home again for a game against, well, I'm not sure who it is, to be honest with you. I'll have to check the schedules. But anyways, that is a look at the upcoming schedules. Depending on what happens with J.J. Yearout's 1,000-point thing, we may or may not go to Timberlake. We won't go to Grangeville. And I think the only other game this year that we probably won't go to on the road will be Bonners Ferry. But that is just a quick look ahead at our schedule kind of for the upcoming rest of the season for the boys. We're going to step away, take a break, let the opening ceremonies national anthem come, and then we will come back with starting lineups. But first, check out Sorori & Co. If you're looking for a fresh new look, they're your full-service salon right here in town, from hair and beauty to teeth whitening, tanning, and even tattoos by Emily. By appointment, call 208-819-2646 to book today. That's Sorori & Co., where confidence starts. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the starting lineups after this.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's. Bundle up for big savings at the Country Fair in St. Mary's. It's the Winter Blowout Sale. Get 50% off winter fashion, select clearance items up to 75% off, and Christmas items marked down 75%. Cold weather styles, hot deals, and limited quantities. So don't wait.
Shop local and save big at the Country Fair, Main Street, St. Mary's. And we are back. National anthem is done, and now we will get you the starting lineup, starting with, of course, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, since they are the road team. Our first starter for the Lumberjacks will be the 5'9" junior guard, Jackson Harold. Then we got the number 3 of 5'8" senior guard, Jack Barta. The 6'2" senior guard, number 4, J.J. Yearout. The 6'7" junior post, number 21, Landon Ribrick. And the number 32, 6-foot senior guard, Xavier Sloper. Now the starting lineup for the Tigers.
Now for your Kendrick Tigers.
Now the starters for the Tigers, we got the junior, number 0 of Maddox Kirkland. The senior, number 1, Cade Silflo. Then the number 2 of Rowley Roetsunder. He's a senior. Again, I'll go with Rowley for him all game. The number 4 of senior Nathan Twite. And the sophomore, number 24, Hudson Kirkland. I don't think I mentioned who the Tigers are coached by. And I put away all my information on that, so I do apologize. Lumberjacks in their green and gold will be going left to right on your radio dial. The Tigers in white with orange numbers, they will be going right to left. J.J. Yearout in the midcourt circle. He will be going up against the number 4 of Nathan Twite for the opening tip. The midcourt circle is a giant paw print. Pretty nice gym here, really, for the Tigers. Lumberjacks will win the opening tip into the hands of Ribrick. He backs it out to Barta. Barta takes it across the timeline on the right side of the floor. Skips it to Sloper. Looking into Yearout. There's going to be a foul there. I think it's going to go against the Tigers. Nathan Twite will pick up foul number 1 early on in the first period. Trying to feed that in. Twite comes in and makes up contact with Yearout. St. Mary's inbound baseline. Sloper gets it into Barta. Barta right corner. Skips it to Sloper in the short corner. Now he's rotating, trying to back his way into the paint. Shot is high and up over the defense. No good. Harold had the rebound. Harold was going to try for a putback, but they're going to say a jump ball as the Tigers tie up that possession. Early first period, no score. Bringing it down for the Tigers is Silflo. Silflo works it to the right, looking to hand it off to Rowley, but good defense by St. Mary's. JJ was all over him. Still on that right wing, down to the corner, short corner. Going to drive around is Kirkland, kicks the ball out to the corner. Thought about a 3, did Rowley. Couldn't get it. Going to get a layup the other way. Shot is no good. And we'll give Sloper the rebound. Going to get it to Ribrick. Ribrick spins along the blocks, pull up, spinning jump shot. Won't go in for him. Ball will be tipped around and goes out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary's. We'll give Kendrick the team rebound. A little bit of, not really any pressure, I guess. The Tigers take it down the right side. St. Mary's looks to be in a man. Going to kick it to the left side. That's into the hands of Kirkland. He kicks the ball to the corner right side. Into the paint. Shot up and good. And that is Silflo, who will score the first bucket of the night for the Tigers. 2-0. St. Mary's trails. Barta to Yearout. Yearout gets a screen from Harold. Free throw line. JJ is going to have his shot blocked as he tries to work his way around some stiff defense from the Tigers. It'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Kendrick. It'll stay with St. Mary's. JJ will trigger it in right side of the bucket on the baseline. Going to get it to Ribrick. Ribrick, jump shot, won't fall. Short range jumper. Kendrick struggled, or not Kendrick. Ribrick had a little bit of trouble in Orofino knocking down some of those shots. Going to have the ball to the Tigers. They work it. Driving into the lane is Twite. Kicks it to the corner left side to Silflo. Silflo reverses it back to the top of the key. Twite for three. Won't go. Year Out pulls down the rebound for the Lumberjacks. 2-0. St. Mary's trails. Barta signals the offense from the backcourt. Takes it across the timeline. Works to the right side. Skips it over to JJ. Year Out for the three. Front iron. No good. Rebound to the Tigers. Good look by JJ. Couldn't get it to fall. The Tigers going to feed it ahead. Nathan Twite will lay it up and in. And it's a 4-point lead for the Tigers as they lead 4-0. Barta left side takes it to top. Swings it to Sloper. Looking into the lane to Ribrick. Ribrick's going to take one dribble and put it up and good. I think that was Sloper with an assist. 4-2, St. Mary's trails. Three-pointer on the way by Rowley. It is no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and they will say it's off of Kendrick. Isaiah Gustav checks in for the Lumberjacks. Getting a breather is Harold. Lumberjacks have the ball up top. Swinging it to Year Out. Year Out, little pump fake from the left wing. Swings it to Sloper. Sloper to the free throw line. Steps around the defense. Shot won't fall for him. Fighting for the rebound. Can't pull it in. The rebound to go to the Tigers. Bring it down the left side is Twite. Skips it to the corner. Back to the top of the key. Tigers working left side. Good defense by Barta. Swinging it back to the right to Rowley. Rowley finds Kirkland all alone. Kirkland will put it up and good. Maddox Kirkland with the bucket. 6-2, St. Mary's trails. 4.5 to go in the first period. Swinging it over to Gustav on the right sideline. He's going to look it into Year Out. Year Out bumped from behind, looking for a call, not going to get it. They're going to say turnover on St. Mary's. I think JJ had a legitimate plea there as he did get pushed from behind. Tigers will take it after the St. Mary's turnover. Silflo drives right side, skips it across the court. Left three, the shot is off. Rebound to Ribrick. And the Lumberjacks back the other way. Sloper left side. Tests the waters, backs the ball back out around the horn. Barta has it. Looking to Year Out. Year Out, right side of the blocks. Going to drive. Nope. Tested the waters. Nowhere to go. Into Gustav. Gustav has his shot blocked. Kendrick using their height advantage. Not really a height advantage, but they are getting a couple of block shots early on. The ball will go out of bounds. Last touched by the Tigers. Sloper will come out. Jackson Harold back in. Jack Barta gets a breather. Brock Barta checks in. St. Mary's has it. 15 on the shot clock. JJ gets a look at three. Knocks it down. From the right side, the assist by Brock Barta. St. Mary's cuts it to a 1-point lead. Driving into the lane is Silflo. That shot is blocked. I think it was Rib with the block. Rebound to the Tigers. Another shot on the way, no good. JJ had a chance at the rebound, has to save it back in, though, and it goes into the hands of Kirkland, and Kirkland's going to put it up and good. 8-5, St. Mary's trails by 3. Brock Barta has it on the paw print at the midcourt. He'll take it right side. On the wing, gives it to Year Out. Year Out deep three. That one's going to be off the mark. Rebound to the Tigers. Going to have driving from the other side is Kirkland, Maddox Kirkland. Year Out. Harold will get a deflection there. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Lumberjacks. Baseline inbound from the Tigers. Rally to the corner to Silflo. Silflo's three is long. Rebound to JJ. A blocked layup and a rebound for the Tigers the other way. And coming back the other way, the Tigers try their own layup. And their shot is the shot is blocked by Rib. Year Out goes out for a breather. Sloper checks back in. 2:47 to go in the first period. 8-5. Tigers have led the whole first. Brock Barta brings it to the right side of the floor. On the wing. Skip the pass over to Sloper, left side, back to Harold. Now to Sloper, still working that left side of the floor, looking to Gustav. Gustav in the short corner, into the paint, works his way around, high off the glass, shot won't go, rebound to the Tigers. Tigers looking to get something in transition. St. Mary's defense gets back. Silfo right side, skip it to the corner to Kirkland, back out to wing, three-point shot from the left side by Rowley. First three of the night for the Tigers. 6-point lead, largest lead of the evening for the Tigers. Harold has it right side for St. Mary. Swings it to the corner. Now into Sloper. Cross court to Brock. Brock catch and shoot. It's up and good from the corner on the left side. Sloper, I believe, with the assist. It's 11-8. St. Mary's trails by 3. Kirkland has it. Hands it off to Rowley. Rowley back to Kirkland. 3-point on the way, and he knocks it down. That was Hudson Kirkland answering back. 14-8. Lumberjacks trail. Barta, corner to Sloper. Sloper drives, kicks it out to, nope, that was partially deflected. No, they say not. Harold thought it was deflected. That'll be a turnover on Xavier. Gustav comes out. Ribrick comes out. Speakman checks in. And JJ came back on for the Lumberjacks. Right corner or right wing, layup, no good. JJ goes up for the rebound. JJ steps into the lane, ball stripped out of his hands. And the Tigers get a breakaway the other way, and Hudson Kirkland lays it up. (16-8). Tigers doubled up on the Lumberjacks, up by 8. JJ drives from the right side. They're going to count the foul on the floor. JJ stepped to a couple of defenders there. That foul, I think they said, goes against number 2. That's Rowley. Second foul of the first quarter against Kendrick. 42 seconds on the clock into year out. Year out. Pull-up jumper from about the free throw line. It'll fall through. I think Sloper inbounded. That will give him the assist. 16-10. St. Mary's trails by 6. White controls. Tigers looking for the last shot of the first. There's a pass that's going to go almost into the backcourt. Tigers able to save it. Back into the hands of Dwight. Corner 3 by Rowley. Knocks it down from the right side. Tigers getting hot from outside. That's 3 3-pointers, I think, in a row. Sloper tries to answer back from the right side. No good. Rebound to the Tigers. Kendrick with about the three-quarter court shot, or half-court shot. It's no good. And the first quarter comes to an end with St. Mary's trailing by 9. 19-10. We'll be back.
It's done. It's gone. When you gotta go, make sure you're good to go with St. Joe Potty Huts. From construction sites to community events, weddings to weekend gatherings, St. Joe Potty Huts keeps it clean, convenient, and odor-free. Local, dependable, and fast. Your restroom solution is just a call away at 208-245-4887. For clean units, quick delivery, and service you can count on, choose St. Joe Potty Huts, serving St. Mary's and the St. Joe Valley. Call 208-245-4887 and keep your event running smoothly.
We are back getting ready for the second quarter of action. St. Mary's trails 19-10 to the Tigers here in Kendrick. Don't forget, spring is right around the corner, and it's time to get your ride ready. At 208 Power Sports, we'll get you back on the trail fast with UTV, ATV, and dirt bike service you can trust. From preseason tune-ups to full repairs, their experienced crew keeps your machines running strong all season long. Don't wait for the first sunny weekend. Get ready now. 208 Power Sports in St. Mary's, where spring starts with the turn of a key. See what we got on the floor for the Lumberjacks. Brock Barta is back in. Marcus, I think, is out. No, yes. Jackson Harrell. Okay. St. Mary's with the first possession of the second quarter. Trailing by 9. Nice entry pass from Sloper into Ribrick, and he lays it up and good. Another assist by Sloper. St. Mary's trails by 7. Tigers have it. Right side of the floor. Down in the short corner. Going to try to test the waters into the lane. Kick it out to the corner. Twite open for 3. That's in and out. That ball's going to go out of bounds off of Kendrick. We'll give Lumberjacks a team rebound. Barta has it for St. Mary's in the backcourt. That's Jack Barta. He works the left side of the floor. Looks to rib, top of the key. Now hands off to Year Out. Year Out with a straightaway 3, knocks it down. Ribrick with the assist on that one. 19-15, back to a 4-point deficit for St. Mary's. Early second period. Hand off to Kirkland. Kirkland to Rowley. Rowley thought about pulling for the 3, decided not to. Gets it to the other Kirkland. That's Hudson on the right side. He's guarded by Barta. Flips it across court to Maddox Kirkland. Maddox spins into the lane. Contested shot. It's no good. We'll give the rebound to Sloper. Sloper gets it off to Year Out. Year Out. Pump fake from deep. Drives. Lots of contact. The shot won't go, but he'll get fouled. JJ will head to the charity stripe. JJ 67% on the season from the free throw line. Foul goes against Silflo. That is his first foul. First free throw for JJ on the way. And I've been waiting to hear that come from the crowd, and I've not in one of our games. I've seen it on some videos online, but somebody in the Kendrick crowd said, "That's my man," right as JJ shoots the free throw. Makes it anyways, but I just had to point that out. It's been funny. I've been waiting to hear that from somewhere as JJ makes both free throws. It's been kind of a trend on TikTok with the basketball games. 19-17, St. Mary's cuts it to a 2-point deficit. Twite swings it to the top. They work it around to the right side of the floor. Now looking into the lane, almost out of bounds is Twite. He's able to keep his feet in on the baseline. He's going to try to get around the defense, and there's going to be some contact. St. Mary's is going to get called for the foul, and we'll see who they called that on. There was about 3 guys around him. It'll go against Landon. It'll send Twite to the free throw line. I see. First free throw is up and good. Second free throw, front iron. It is no good. JJ Year Out goes up for the rebound, and Lumberjacks will bring it the other way. Barta has it left side of the floor for St. Mary's. Gets it to Ribrick. Now to Year Out. Year Out is going to pull up for the 3. Contested. Shot won't go. Rebound to the Tigers. And we're going to get, had everybody pointing the opposite directions on that one. And their officials will say it is Kendrick ball. I just noticed that there is only 2 officials here tonight. It's not 3-man mechanics for this game. Usually varsity games have been this year. St. Mary's trails by 3, 20-17. Tigers have it left side of the floor. Hudson Kirkland hands it off. Driving in is Rowley. Back out to the corner, left side to Twite, and we're going to get a foul, it looks like, on the floor against St. Mary's. That'll go against JJ. That's his first. And I just now noticed that JJ quietly has 10 points in this game already. They get it in underneath. Cross court, looking to the top, left corner. Shot on the way by Twite. Front of the rim, no good. Tigers able to get a good bounce on it and tip it back to their teammate. 3-point shot on the way by Hudson. It won't go. Year Out skies high for the rebound. And I don't know, was that deflected? It was. Tigers are going to deflect a pass down the court out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lumberjacks. 5:20 to go before halftime. 20-17, St. Mary's trails. Jackson Harold, Jack Barta check out. Brock Barta comes in, as does, well, I think I already had Sloper in, so we'll put Isaiah. You're out into the lane. Shot is up. Missed the first one. Got his rebound. And the putback is good by Year Out. St. Mary's trails by 1, 20-19. Year Out is taking care of all the scoring here. There's going to be a putback the other way by Maddox Kirkland. Not really a putback, but a layup. Still a 3-point lead for the Tigers. Skipping it to Sloper. Sloper working on the left side, short corner. He's going to back his way into the lane. Kicks it out to Ribrick. Three-pointer won't go. Looked good. Wouldn't fall in for him. Rebound to the Tigers. Coming back the other way is Kirkland. And Kirkland loses it. They're going to say it comes off of St. Mary's. Coach Chase says, what? Kirkland, I think they thought he might have dribbled it off of his knee into the JJ Year Out. Steals that one. Lazy inbound pass kind of by the Tigers. JJ was right there. It's not like he just snuck up. Then there's almost a steal by the Tigers, but they will end up forcing a turnover for the most part there. The ball got knocked loose. And I think Sparta ended up trying to get back to the ball and kicked it out of bounds. Call it a turnover, St. Mary's. 3-point lead for the Tigers. Driving underneath, shot up, no good. Rebound to Ribrick. Year Out to Sloper. I think they were trying for a quick shot three there, but Sloper couldn't quite grab that pass cleanly, so now they work it around. Gustav has it on the left side, back to Year Out. Still working the left side of the floor. Year Out, tests the waters, now backs it back out, looks into Gustav. Perfect pass, and Gustav puts it up and in. Year Out gets the assist. St. Mary's takes the first lead. Their first lead, 22-21. Hudson Kirkland has the ball up top, swings it to Maddox. Maddox picks up his dribble, swings it to the corner. That's into, no, now it's Maddox. That was Silflo that had it. Back to Kirkland, left side, looking to Twite. Twite works through Isaiah Gustav and puts the shot up and good. I think everybody was looking for the charge call there. Didn't get it. 24-21. Deep three by Year Out. Off the mark. Rebound to Kendrick. Coming the other way, it's Silflo. Kicks it out to Rowley. Rowley around the defense and lays it up and good. Nice move by Rowley. And we get a timeout taken by Coach Chase for the Lumberjacks as it's back to a 5-point deficit for St. Mary's, 26-21.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
And we are back 3 minutes to halftime. St. Mary's trails 26-21. St. Mary's had their first lead just a few moments ago. And the Tigers answered right back with, I think, 4 unanswered points. Maybe it was 5 unanswered. Maybe 6 unanswered to give them a 5-point lead. So I'll get my math right, yeah. St. Mary's has the ball. Speakman into the game for the Lumberjacks. Ribrick gets a break. I think that was the only substitution made. Gonna hand it off to Year Out. Year Out drives right side, steps in, shot up and good by JJ. 3-point lead for the Tigers. 2.5 to go before halftime. 26-23. Kendrick has it. White over to Kimberly. First time for him into the game. Swinging to the top of the key, right side. Now back to the left. It's going to be a 3-point way on the way by Hudson Kirkland. The shot is no good. Rebound is going to be saved in by JJ, but it goes to the Tigers. Going to get a Silflo shot, and he's going to lay it up and in from the left side of the blocks. Back to a 5-point deficit for the Lumberjacks. 28-23, year out. Little head fake into Speakman. Speakman works his way into the lane, kicks it out to Gustav. Gustav for three. It's a little long. I thought he had that one. Rebound to the Tigers. Lumberjacks have a couple waiting to check in. It's three getting ready to come in. Going to have a pass out to Silflo. Silflo tries to feed it. It'll be a turnover as it gets bumped out of bounds. So in for St. Mary's is Harold, Jack Farda, and Landon Ribrick. Speakman, left side, back up to Harold. Harold looking to Speakman. Speakman's going to work his way into the low post, gets stood up. He's looking for an outlet. Has it poked away for a second. Coach Chase has to end up all the way on the other side of the court looking for a timeout. Kendrick crowd saying to tee him up, but I don't see why. The refs weren't paying attention. Coach Chase trying to get a timeout. They're going to give the ball is St. Mary's ball into year out. Now to Speakman. Speakman going to put it up off the glass. Shot won't go. Rebound to the Tigers. Tigers bring it up the floor. Rally to Twite. Back out to Silflo. Going to get Rowley for three. It won't go in for him. Rebound to Year Out. Year Out pops for a three from deep three. It's off the back of the iron. It won't go in. Quit trading three-pointers, I think. They need to set up a little offense. Out to the wing, corner right side. That is Twite. He's looking inside. Backs it back out. Twite for three from the corner. It's up and good for the Tigers. First three-pointer of the game for Nathan Twite. It's an 8-point lead again for Kendrick. Ties their largest lead of the game. St. Mary's playing for that final shot of the quarter. Year Out has it. Going to drive into the lane. Shot up. No good, but he'll get fouled. See who that went against. We'll put Year Out back to the charity stripe. Hudson Kirkland's first foul of the game. Oh, that first free throw rims out. Looked like a good touch on the shot. Landon Ribrick going to come out. Checking in is Isaiah. You're out, eyes up the second shot. It's good. 31-24, St. Mary's trails. Under 5 seconds in the half. Driving all the way down. A little floater shot won't go from the right corner, and that's how the first half comes to an end. St. Mary's trails 31-24, 7-point deficit for the Lumberjacks at the half. We'll take a break, come back with the first half statistics.
When you think of PotlatchDeltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about PotlatchDeltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, PotlatchDeltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. PotlatchDeltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, PotlatchDeltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank PotlatchDeltic for what they do and hope that you will also. PotlatchDeltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24 plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
And we are back. It's halftime here at Kendrick High School. It's been a pretty good battle so far. 31-24, St. Mary's on the wrong side of the scoreboard, though. There's been 2 lead changes, no ties. The Lumberjacks led by 1 in the second quarter. The Tigers have led by as much as 8. And the difference really comes down to the 2-point shooting for St. Mary's right now. St. Mary's is 6 of 17. The Tigers are 9 of 16. St. Mary's, though, is 35% from 2-point range. The Tigers are 56%. Everything else is basically fairly even. 3-point percentage, St. Mary's 3 for 11 for 27%. The Tigers 4 of 14 for 29%. Overall field goal percentage, 32% for the Lumberjacks, 43% for Kendrick. St. Mary's shooting a little bit better at the free throw line, 3 for 4, 75%. The Tigers 1 for 2 for 50%. Going down to the other numbers here, we've got rebounding. St. Mary's and Kendrick basically even in the category. 17 rebounds for St. Mary's, 18 rebounds for the Tigers. St. Mary's has just 13 defensive. The Tigers with 16. St. Mary's has 4 offensive rebounds to just 2 for the Tigers, but St. Mary's hasn't made, I don't think, but I think they've made 1 of their second chance opportunities. Turnovers fairly low. 3 turnovers for St. Mary's, 2 turnovers for the Tigers. No points off turnovers for either team. Assist-wise, St. Mary's was 7 first-half assists, 6 assists for Kendrick. 1 steal for the Lumberjacks, no steals for the Tigers. The Tigers have blocked 4 St. Mary's shots. And the interesting thing about that is St. Mary's, 6 of that would have added, it's just the good defense by the Tigers down inside to block those shots. St. Mary's has blocked 1, I believe, maybe 2. Individually, Kendrick has just their starting 5 scoring so far. I really think they've only made 1 sub, and that was in the second quarter, and that was Kimberling that came in. Other than that, it's been Nathan Twite. He has 8 points on the game, 7 for Rowley, 4 points for Cade Silflo, 6 points for Maddox Kirkland, and 5 points for Hudson Kirkland. For St. Mary's, it's been J.J. Yearout. He's got 15 points already, 4 points for Landon Ribrick, 3 points for Brock Barta, 2 points for Isaiah Gustav. St. Mary's needs to find some help from the supporting cast. I mean, St. Mary's usually has other guys that score. Don't get me wrong. That's why we've got about 4 guys that average double digits. But they need to get those guys a little bit more involved in the second half. Or just let JJ try to take over the game in the second half. JJ had a pretty good first half, but he is definitely comes even more on fire in the second half. So we'll see what happens there. But they definitely need a little bit more from maybe Rib inside and the Barda boys to get going from outside possibly. And Xavier's kind of a dual threat. He can go in or out. Rebounding wise, Sloper had 4 assists, 2 rebounds. JJ had 7 rebounds with 1 assist. So he's looking at a possible double-double tonight. And that's just a look at those first half stats. So again, really Kendrick doesn't need to change much. They've been doing pretty well. Gotten on fire, shooting outside. St. Mary's needs to figure out a way to cool down that outside shooting and find their outside shooting in the second half. But it's still a close ball game. Anybody's game still in this one. And I was going to mention that I said that Kendrick is number 1 in max preps in 2A. St. Mary's number 1 in max preps in 3A. Either way this game goes, it's not going to, if whoever loses this game, I don't think it's going to really hurt their max preps rankings because it's 2 of the top teams in the state playing each other according to max preps. So it will be interesting to see. And let's see here. When it comes to your savings, keep it local. St. Joe Valley Credit Union, friendly faces, hometown service, and people who work for you. Savings is assured up to $250,000 per account by American Share Insurance. This institution is not federally insured. St. Joe Valley Credit Union wishes the Lumberjacks good luck tonight here in Kendrick. We'll take a break, come back with the second half after this.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware, the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
And we are back. Teams will switch directions. The Tigers now going left to right. They have the first possession of the second half. Maddox has it. Now to the top to Hudson. Right side. Trying to get to the blocks. Back to the left corner is the Tigers. Now to the wing to Silflo. Top of the key to Hudson Kirkland. Back to Dwight. Still working that left side of the floor is the Tigers. Now moving it to the right side. Maddox Kirkland in the lane. And we're going to foul against St. Mary's. I think it's Jack Barda picking up the foul on the shot. It'll put, I believe it's Silflo to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Misses the first one off the back of the iron. Tigers, if I remember right from the stats, when they played in St. Mary's, struggled a little bit at the cherry stripe there. That is continuing this evening as he misses both free throws. Rebound goes to Harold, and St. Mary's back the other way. Year Out has it way up at the top of the key. He's going to swing it over to Sloper. Sloper working on the right side, looking to Ribrick. Ribrick catch and shoot, short range jumper, and Ribrick struggles for more. Fino continue here on the short range stuff. Rebound to the Tigers. Kendrick, he's usually pretty sure on those short range shots. Tigers have it left side, swing it around to the right. That's Rowley into the lane. St. Mary's defense collapses on him, and they find Cade Silflo for the bucket. Largest lead, I think, now of the game, and that's going to be a shot up by Harold. It'll be blocked out of bounds. Harold will come out. Gustav checks in. It's a 9-point lead for the Tigers. Largest lead they've had tonight. St. Mary's looking to get in. Jack Barta all the way to the top to Year Out. Year Out, right, left side of the floor. Gets a screen from Sloper. He's going to drive. Little head fake, gets double teamed, spins around the defense, leaves that shot a little bit short. And I don't have all my guys on the floor. Going to get a foul against St. Mary's. Second foul on Landon. Second foul on St. Mary's in the second half. Tigers have it up top. Silflo hands it off to Hudson. Hudson kicks it to the corner to Rowley. Rowley knocks down a three. And Coach Chase wants a timeout. Third three of the game for the Tigers, or for Rowley. It is a full timeout. We'll take it as well.
Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we're back. It is the third quarter, just about 2 minutes gone. Tigers have extended their lead to the largest lead of the contest. 12-point advantage for the Tigers, 36-24 here in Kendrick. Lumberjacks trail. Bringing it down for St. Mary's is Jack Barta. Jack over to Gustav on the left corner. Gustav over to Ribrick. Back out to Barta. Barta looking for an outlet. Finds Sloper. Sloper too high of an entry pass by Xavier. X trying to fire that into Ribrick, and that was just, I think, too much speed on the pass and too high. St. Mary's turns it over. You got Maddox Kirkland with it. Swings it to the left side to White. Now looking back to the right side of the floor. Back to Maddox. Top of the key to Hudson. Now to Rowley. Around the horn to White. Into the low post. Going to lose the ball is Maddox trying to go up for the shot. It'll go out of bounds. I'm going to call it. I probably shouldn't have put it. I did put it as a turnover, but I put it as a shot as well. St. Mary's will bring it down. See, St. Mary's can answer back down by 12. The only other game where St. Mary's has trailed by this many was when they played Sandpoint. Sandpoint, I think, led by 16 at one time. Going to get a shot by Isaiah. He leaves it a little long. Rebound to the Tigers. St. Mary's shooting lows from 2-point range continue here in the second half. That'll be deflected out of bounds by JJ as he tries to poke that out from behind. Jack Barta takes a seat. Brock Barta checks in. Into the corner. Three on the way. It's up and good. Hudson Kirkland knocks down another three for him. And the Tigers are rolling. Up by 15. Shot up, no good by Sloper. Rib tried for the putback, couldn't tip it in. Tigers pull down the rebound. They come the other way. And that ball, JJ Yearout comes flying out of nowhere as Rowley goes up for the shot. And instead of releasing, he comes back to the ground and he'll get called to travel. I think that could go either way, travel, double dribble, because he did let go of the ball. Marcus Speakman will check in. Sloper goes out. St. Mary's needs to answer back. They've been playing a little bit of good defense, but they need to convert on the offensive side. Speakman tests the left side, spins around the defense, shot up, back of the iron, won't fall in. Lumberjacks again having trouble shooting tonight, just like in Orofino. Going to have Silflo to the free throw line, hands it off to Rowley. Rowley kicks it to the corner to Twite, and he triggers the three. It won't go. Yearout with the rebound. Coming the other way is JJ, and he's going to take it himself, lay it up and in. 39-26, 13-point deficit for the Lumberjacks with 4 minutes to go in the third. Lumberjacks need to get a couple more steals here and convert a couple more easy buckets, but Kendrick not making it easy on him. Kirkland hands it off. I think it's Silflo with it. He backs it back out to Hudson. Hudson to the top of the key to Maddox. Maddox goes in against Speakman, kicks it to the corner. Hudson for three. His three won't go. Yearout pulls down the board. St. Mary's takes it the other way in transition. Yearout left side. He's going to drive into the lane again. He'll have that shot blocked. The rebound to Gustav. Lumberjacks will reset the offense. There's been a lot of blocked shots by the Tigers in this game. Yearout's going to go ahead and trigger the three. Shot won't go. Rebound to the Tigers. Had a defender in his face kind of taunting him to shoot. And that one is an up and under by Cade Silflo. Nice move by him. Coming from the left side, underhanded hook up and in. 41-26, St. Mary's trails. Brock Barta, he's going to drive it. Lays it up and in. Nice little left-handed roller by Brock Barta. Problem Lumberjacks are having right now is they're not getting the defensive stops they need at the moment. Back up to Hudson. Hudson drives, gets the defense off his feet. Rib still gets the block shot. Rebound goes to Yearout. Yearout through the paint. Shot no good, but he'll get fouled and head to the charity stripe. That foul goes against Nathan Twite. His second. I think JJ's the only Lumberjack to go to the free throw line so far tonight. First free throws up and good. Sloper comes back in, as does Jack Barta. Brock Barta goes out. Actually, Ribrick went out as well. Speakman stayed in. Second free throw is good by JJ. JJ will get a breather. Checking in for him is Harold. JJ with 19 here in the game. No other only 4 Lumberjacks have scored. Tigers drive, shot up. No, it's going to go in, but it'll be a foul. But Xavier steps in and takes the charge. That foul goes against Nathan. That is his third. St. Mary's trails by 11. They've slowly cut into that lead, but it's still a big hole. They've got 2.5 in the third, though, and a whole fourth quarter. Speakman to Sloper. Sloper, pull-up jumper at the free throw line. It won't fall in for him. Again, the mid-range jumpers not falling for the Lumberjacks. Driving the paint for the Tigers into the low post to Twite. Twite has it poked away by Gustav. Gustav will get the steal. Turnover on the Tigers. Three-pointer from Jack Barta leaves it short. Rebound to the Tigers. Timeout taken by the Tigers. They want a quick 30-second timeout. 41-30, St. Mary's trails by 11. Tigers have had a couple of empty possessions, but St. Mary's not able to capitalize. And when families in our community are face a loss of a loved one, they turn to the caring professionals at Hodge Funeral Home. With compassion, dignity, and personal service, Hodge Funeral Home is there to help guide you through life's most difficult moments. Hodge Funeral Home wishes the Lumberjacks best of luck tonight here in Kendrick. 1:52 to go in the third. 41-30 St. Mary's trails. Both teams have 2 fouls apiece. Lumberjacks have a look. Tigers have quite a few weapons, but Nathan Twite is one of their go-to guys. He sits with 3 fouls right now. But his coach trusts him apparently to make the right decisions out there because they haven't pulled him out with those 3 fouls here in the third. Lumberjacks stay with their same 5 on the floor. That ball's tipped by Jackson Harold into the backcourt. Tigers come back up with it. Bringing it down the right side is Hudson. Hudson up to Silflo. Going to get it to the corner, far side, Twite. Twite has it poked away for a second, gets it underneath. Swinging it around to Maddox. Maddox goes up against Speakman and lays it up and good. Maddox Kirkland, his first bucket of the second half. St. Mary's has it left wing, trailing by 13. Going to swing it over to Gustav. Gustav to Jack. Jack Bartle left wing. Jack's going to drive, gets around the defense, kicks it out to Sloper. Sloper for 3, it's short. Chasing down the rebound was Barta. Sloper misses a layup, gets pushed to the ground. I think the coach is wanting a foul there. They don't get it. Kendrick, instead, they find Cade Silflo waiting in the paint. And an easy bucket for the Tigers in transition. 15-point lead again for the Tigers. Matches their largest lead with 45 to go in the third. St. Mary's needs to go to work. Harold has it, gets it to Isaiah. Tigers been playing good defense inside. That ball's going to be taken away. Isaiah turns it over. What kind of troubles me with that is I guess he didn't really know where the ball went, but he didn't even try to go after it. Tigers have it with 23 seconds on the clock. They're playing for that final shot, wanting to extend their lead before the fourth. They know that St. Mary's can go on a run at any time. Maddox Kirkland tripped over Harold's feet. The crowd kind of thought it looked like he pushed him. I don't think he did. I think it was incidental. Going to get to the low post right side, and the Tigers can't get a shot off. Nathan Twite ends up with it in his hands, but can't get the shot to go or up. So it's a 15-point deficit as St. Mary's heads into the fourth quarter. It'll be 45-30 Kendrick when we come back.
Jack Buell Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
And we are back. Final frame. St. Mary's needs to dig deep. They've got to overcome a 15-point deficit. Ribrick has it over to Year out. Year out. Drives in. Trying to get around the defense. Shot is long. I think Ribrick is going to... No, what they call a jump ball here? I think they called a jump ball. Rib had the rebound at first. Kendrick able to tie it up. Kendrick has played very well this season. Very physical team. We knew that from the first time we played them. Knew this game could go either way, and still 15-point deficit isn't that difficult for St. Mary's, but they can't let the Tigers extend it. Tigers have it on the left side. Need a good defensive stop here if you're St. Mary's. Kicking it out to the corner to Maddox. Now back to Twite. He's trying to feed it inside. Sloper with the steal. Going to get it to Harold. Harold right side. Gets it to Sloper. Sloper for the three, and again, it is short. St. Mary's just having a trouble finding their range tonight. Pass to the corner. Shot. Oh, Ribrick gonna get called for the foul right there. No. They called the foul. Rib takes a charge there, I believe. The foul goes against Kendrick. It goes against Raleigh. I didn't think he got in there and got set. I thought that was going against the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's will inbound. Jack Barta brings it ahead, crosses the timeline, works it to the left. Now to Rib. Rib up top. Over to Sloper. Right corner. Sloper to Barta. Barta. High entry pass into Year Out. Deflected by the Tigers out of bounds. Year Out looking, saying he got hit in the arm when they came and knocked that ball loose, but didn't get the call. Going to get it out to Harold. Harold for three. It's going to be off the front of the iron. Won't fall in. Rebound to the Tigers. I'm not sure who deflected that. St. Mary's gets a deflection. Harold will come out. Gustav checks in. Still no score here. Nobody scored here in the third, and I don't want to jinx it right there. I didn't. Shot three-point range, no good. Rebound to Isaiah. Year Out has it right side. Kicks it over to Sloper. Sloper drives. Kicks it out to Ribrick, left side. Ribrick almost gets it stripped away. Hands it off to Barta. Barta for a deep three. Knocks it down. Give Ribrick an assist. St. Mary's trails by 12. They just need to keep getting the defensive stops, though. That's going to be key here. Going to have it to Kirkland. Kirkland skips it to the left side. Back around left wing. Hudson has it. Trying to get the alley-oop. Bounce, a bucket, and a foul. Barta kind of ill-timed on that attempted defense there. Maddox Kirkland with the and one. Second foul on Jack Barta. First time the free throw line for Maddox. Again, they haven't shot that. They've only made 1 out of 4 free throws tonight. But he will knock down that one. St. Mary's back to a 15-point deficit. Barta has the ball. Under 6 to play. Gonna give it out to Jack. Jack, a head fake from straight away. Gonna flip it to the... It was kind of a good idea as Jack drove the lane, tried to kind of flip it over his head to the corner right side to Sloper, but it was too high. Sloper couldn't pull it in. Lumberjacks going to put on their backcourt pressure now. Trying to get the trap. Keeping the Tigers in the backcourt. Trying to keep them in there. And the Tigers finally get it across. Kirkland has it. Swings it over to Twite. Twite working against Gustav. 5.5 to play. Tigers being patient offensively now. Maddox Kirkland has it right corner. Back out to Raleigh. Around the horn they go. Tigers are content with trying to take time off the clock and shoot last second. They're going to get St. Mary's off their feet. Hudson Kirkland with a three. He made a nice little pump fake. Got Isaiah to blow past him. JJ is going to be fouled on the floor. That foul goes against Raleigh. That is his third. They've got Nathan Twite and Raleigh with 3 apiece. A little bit too late in the game, though, for that to help St. Mary's too much. JJ gets his shot blocked. Rebound to the Tigers. Tigers have been very solid tonight, looking to extend their win streak to 8. Going to get a steal by JJ. JJ's going to take it down and lay it up and in. And we're going to get a timeout taken. I think it was St. Mary's with the timeout. It was a full. And St. Mary's trails 51-35. We'll be back.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Coogee, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back. St. Mary's now trails by, I think it's 16. They've trailed by as much as 17. Not quite the way I figured this game would go. I figured it would be a tight ball game all the way through, but the Tigers have been able to extend it here in the second half. St. Mary's in a full court press. St. Mary's hasn't had the night shooting the ball that they would like to have. They were looking good in warmups. Tigers have it up top. JJ out there on defense. St. Mary's extending their defense to the top. JJ is going to get a deflection. The ball will stay with the Tigers. I think JJ got hit in the forehead. Looks like got a little bit of maybe a scratch on his cheek or neck there. Officials taking a close look at him, wanting to make sure that it stopped. Oh, it was his ear, it looks like. Tigers will inbound. I think they've got 21 on the shot clock. Hudson Kirkland has it. Up to the top now to Twite. Twite working left side, hands it off. Again, Tigers taking their shot clock as far down as they can before they take a shot. They don't need to worry about points right now. St. Mary's does. Rowley has it out to the corner. Three on the way. No good. Rebound goes to Year Out. Year Out loses the handle, able to cover it back up. Deep three from JJ. Knocks it down from the right side. JJ with 24 points tonight. Only 5 guys scoring for St. Mary's, though, this evening. Lumberjacks have got to keep it going. Isaiah almost gets a steal. Coach Chase looking for a call, not going to get it. And it looks like the timeout's going to get called by Kendrick. With 3:42 to go, it's 51-38. St. Mary's trails. And once again, if you love crafting, sewing, or DIY projects, stop by Frayed Fabrics and Crafts on Main Street in St. Mary's. You'll find fabrics, craft supplies, and plenty of inspiration at 832 Main Avenue. That's Frayed Fabrics and Crafts, where your next project begins. I'm pretty sure with JJ's going to finish the night with probably a double-double. Of course, Lumberjacks would prefer the win. Now, JJ doesn't right now tonight care about the points or the stats. They want the win here tonight. Only other person close to double digits, and he's still 5 points away for St. Mary's, is Brock Barta. The Tigers have done a really good job defensively in shutting down most of the Lumberjacks' contributing players. And then again, it kind of reminds me of Orfino, though. St. Mary's, when they've gotten the open looks, they haven't fallen for them. So it's been a double. It's a little bit of both sides of the coin here. There is some good defense by Kendrick, but St. Mary's isn't hitting their open looks either. Tigers trying to get it inbound. St. Mary's playing some good defense on the sideline. Going to have it into the lane, swings it out, right side, back to the top. 14 on the shot clock for the Tigers. JJ trying to poke one out from behind. They're going to, I don't even know if that's the guy who should be calling that foul. The guy that was behind him, I would have thought would have had a better look, but they're going to call Year Out for a foul there. Second team foul on St. Mary's in the fourth. It'll reset the shot clock, so not ideal if you're St. Mary's, with Kendrick trying to drain time off the clock. Instead, they're going to trigger the quick three. It's not going to go in. Rebound to Year Out. Almost a tie rebound there. JJ triggers the deep three. I don't know if Coach Chase wanted that right now, but St. Mary's will get their defense in the backcourt, put it on the press. Tigers break it across the timeline, working right side. St. Mary's still trying to get the trap. Tigers, Hudson back to Rowley, now back to Cade. Now Rowley near the timeline. Going to get a short corner shot and some contact there. And I didn't see Jackson Harold check into the game. I'm not sure who came out. Let me look at the bench. It is Sloper that's not in. Harold picks up that foul. That's his first. St. Mary's almost with a steal in the backcourt. Harold gets a deflection. Kendrick is just being able to keep a hold of this possession, and this time it didn't reset the clock after the foul. It did. I think they've had 2 full shot clocks now to run time off. Not working out in favor of St. Mary's. Harold had, or not Harold, that was Tigers almost lose it. St. Mary's trapping on the sideline. St. Mary's going to deflect that one out of bounds. One thing I'll say is St. Mary's working hard, but the longer they let Kendrick keep this possession, St. Mary's has way less time to try to come back. 13 on the shot clock. JJ working on Silflo. Corner 3 on the way from Rowley, and he'll knock it down. Let him burn off a bunch of time there, and then you let him bust a 3 on you. And it's a 14-point lead. No, I got to rethink my numbers there. JJ's going to feed that into Isaiah. It's a 14-point deficit for St. Mary's, under 2 to play. Lumberjacks have got to get the stop quickly. Get a steal. Obviously, Coach Chase doesn't want them fouling yet. Hudson with the 3, a fake from 3-point range. 12 seconds on the clock. Going to have that ball tipped up again by Harold. Driving. And JJ will get called for a foul there. They'll send Nathan to the free throw line. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Knocks down the first one. A 15-point deficit for St. Mary's. Once it got to that, St. Mary's has not been able to chip into it. I'm not sure what the timeout. They're just taking out, I think it's Ribrick went out. Sloper checks in. Tigers putting a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. Year Out, going to drive. Gets it to Gustav. Gustav back to JJ. Coach Chase wants a timeout. To 30, I believe.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
Yeah, we are back. 1:25 to go. St. Mary's facing their second straight loss to a tough Kendrick Tiger team. St. Mary's will inbound from baseline. Tigers looking to extend their win streak to 8. It's going to be tough to make up 16 points in a minute and a half if you're St. Mary's. There's a foul against Kendrick, I believe. That'll be Cade Silflo. I don't think there's anything intentional there. It's kind of just a tripping thing. JJ was trying to get through the defenders on a play, and JJ got caught on his seat. And then JJ was running across on a play. He trips, and there's a foul against Kendrick again there, and that's going to be Silflo picking. No, that one goes against Maddox Kirkland. JJ's wanting a towel because he came to that corner left side and slipped immediately. So 4 fouls on Kendrick. Into Harold. Harold for the 3, knocks it down. I think it was Sloper with the assist again. Lumberjacks with some defensive pressure in the backcourt. Tigers get around it, though. And they find Cade Silflo at the other end of the floor. Lumberjacks the other way. Going to get it to Jack Barta. Back over to Harold. Sloper. Backs it out to Jack. Jack trying to find room. Gets it to Year Out. Year Out. Knocks it down. Give Barta the assist. Coach Chase wants a timeout. Trailing by 13. And with that, we'll mention one more of our other sponsors. Looking for a fresh new look? Check out Sorori & Co., your full-service salon right here in town. From hair and beauty to teeth whitening, tanning, and even tattoos by Emily. By appointment, call 208-819-2646 to book today. That's Sorori & Co., where confidence starts. Coach Chase talking to the ref. I'm not sure what they're maybe trying to get straightened out, or if Coach Chase just isn't quite happy. 48 ticks on the clock. I